Hello, this is the start of the work on the old Recordon disc recorder. With the first being take it all apart. If I remember right, the turntable's held on by a single screw in the middle, and the amplifier unit unplugs and unscrews from the underside. I take this off very carefully because they're still in pretty good condition for the age. Most of the ones online, the discs are either missing or badly creased. Yeah, a single screw down there. Okay. Now the screws there, some of them, I think it's those three, looking at it, hold the chassis in place. I'll take the bottom off and have a look there. There's quite a bit of accumulated dust in there, but not too bad for the age. I'm working on the floor as it's just too big to spread out on my bench. This is going to get awkward. I don't want to damage the arm, but I need to get to the plugs. That's the motor pallet. There's a little one down there. In fact, no. What I want to do really is take the valve out first. Some tissue to hand to wrap and clean them. Hoping that's got a reasonable focus. It's a Cossus 6SN7 GT. You can quite often tell the valve construction just by looking at the things. That appears to be a dual triode. I'll have to show a separate closer of that. You can see it's got a filament cathode, then two pins just further out from that, which will support the grid, and then two heavy pins further out still that support the anode plates, and a similar setup on the other side, so it's a dual device. Wrap that one up this way. Got the plastic tub to hand ready for these. Oops. Spring it. This one is a single valve, so that's going to be a, oh, I don't know, it could be a dual again, just very close together in line, and a bit dusty. A bit wary of wiping these, as the print can wipe off quite easily. If I can see it's missing around there already. It's a 6SL7 GT. Right, if I can put it away. Well, that one I'm guessing is going to be the rectifier. There's not much room for that between there and the solenoid. I don't think it's going to come out. I have to take the amplifier out first. As I said earlier, I believe the amplifier is holding by those three. And it's presumably going to need the knobs removing as well. Bigger screwdriver needed this as well. It's a rather useful one. I found at a hardware shop a few years ago. 6 different tips within the same driver. That's the one I want. Magnetics, it's no use for engineering type things where you're going to be in contact with metal swarf, but for bench work and service work, anything like this or PCs, it's very useful. And that is falling out. The amplifier is detached. Got to extricate that and try and get that little plug out. That's the link from the magnetic recording and playback head. So that's the chassis less the amplifier. And the amplifier itself. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Luckily it's on a piece of folded cardboard, so it shouldn't have damaged anything. Again, quite dusty, but no general damage. Oh, there's a voltage selector on there. 220 or 110 volt. That's the connector I replaced when I first got it. As you can see, it's slightly off angle on the screws, but it's using the original holes, nothing was being re-drilled or anything. So I should just be able to take that back out and solder the new vintage Jones socket I've got into that location. Just have a look. I'll take that valve out. And that is a 6X5 GT, which only appears to have filament, cathode and anode, so I'm guessing that is a diode, or a dual diode. It's 2 halves of one above the other on that one. Oh, that's something to note. The getter is still silver. That means it's got a vacuum still. It's not leaked. If it goes white, the valve's wrecked. It's a reactive metal compound that's released inside after the valve's evacuated to capture any stray oxygen. And as long as it's silver, hopefully the valves are good. If the filament's okay. Just have a look at the chassis again. Try and keep my head out from under the camera. That's just the plugs rattling around. Right. That's a good clip on there. Now, when I got this, the idler wheel was rotten completely, the rubber had perished. I found one for a record deck in a local shop. The record players were the music source at the time, so they were readily available, and parts were readily available. The bearing looks a bit dry on that, it rattles a bit, but there's no sign of the rubber being rotten or any dents. Actually, that'll come off very easily by the look at it. Just lifts off. Oh, it is slightly perished. Let's see. We get a focus on that. But the rubber surface is quite rough. I've got some rubber rejuvenator, so I might try giving that a soak and see how it goes. Okay, I think that's it for the mechanics for now, and the next bit is the amplifier on the bench. Just refit that so it doesn't get lost. Again, easy service. Everything with just a screwdriver. It's nicely designed unit. Okay, I'll reorganise and start the next one.